It has been a year since the end of the Boer War. Now we are trying to put it all into perspective and take some time to talk to some of the brave men who fought in the name of the Empire. With me today is Captain Leonard Thornridge. Captain, thank you for taking the time to speak with me. Tell us a little bit about the Boer War. It's been a year. Refresh our memory. Who were you fighting and where?
Yes, of course. The Boer War was fought against the Boers.
Describe a typical encounter with the Boers.
Nasty business.
Okay.
What unsporting chaps. Don't know proper soldiering. They always took a sort of hunter's perspective to it all. Ride in, and smash a bit, and ride out again, and before you know it, the chap you were just having tea with's got his brains in your biscuits.
Now, Captain, was there anything that stood out in your mind as a particularly harrowing experience while fighting this war?
Oh, yes, yes. I recall a time that we were pinned down by Boer sniper fire. It was myself, Sgt Arrington was there, and we had a couple other chaps. Staying behind sandbags and mealie bags, and bolt actions about us, and brass flying, and the bullets whizzing like angry flies in the distance.
Now, Captain, I was told not to ask about this, but I must simply know about the incident with your helmet.
The helmet. Yes, well, that was a juicy day, eh? I need one of these before I get into that one.
Go right ahead.
Yes, our opponent was Johann Kurtz, you see. When you're in a battle, you sometimes come across risk. And among those risks could be to life, limb, and wardrobe, and that's what happened to me.
You were the commanding officer of one Sgt Arrington. I'm sure it is very difficult for you to talk about this, but I was hoping you wouldn't mind saying a few words about him.
Well, what could be said about Sgt Arrington?
I'm sure lots of things. He sounds like he was quite a character.
Fine chap, though. Fine chap. He took more wounds than any I'd ever seen. He was steady and juiced good, eh? What?
Excellent stuff.
He was a fine fellow, and will be missed, I suppose, etc.
Now, how did you take the news of his, shall we say, mastication?
Beg your pardon, madam.
Eating by the lions.
Yes. Eaten by lions, so he was. That's what I had heard.
Yes.
I suppose that had he not gone down in the face of in the face of the enemy, he ought to go down in the face of giant vicious beast. And glorious fellow. We have a British lion and a British sergeant.
A British lion?
A British lion in South Africa who ate a British sergeant.
Only seems right.
Fine fellow, fine. The sergeant too, he was a fine fellow as well. Yes. Yeah, well.
No.
God bless the Scot, eh?
Aye to that. Now, supposedly a royal engineer by the name of Samuel May supposedly got footage of this,
what?
Footage of the sergeant's retreat and then his later devouring by the lions, but supposedly that footage has disappeared. Have you heard anything about that?
Oh yes, of course. He had a moving picture device, rather like that thing over there.
Yes, the curious devices.
Yes, right. Well, what I had heard was that they would have been cut off from the regiment, or they had They had filmed it, and with the lion and all bad for morale, didn't want the lads to see the heroic sergeant getting chewed up and all that. I don't quite understand, you see.
It just seems like the usual government cover-up to me, and
well, you know, I'm sure they know what they're doing, or maybe.
I'll drink to that.
Sure.
Woo! So, tell me some of your memories of the sergeant. Anything interesting that he ever did, or... He sounds like an interesting fellow.
He got shot in the legs.
Plural.
In the legs and the arms.
Oh.
In the chest, in the stomach. I say the fellow was made more of lead than bone or blood or those things. If you see my point, the sergeant was a fine fellow. He took many a round that might have pierced a better man.
Now I simply must ask, and I hate to take up any more of your time or your alcohol, which has been lovely. But I have to ask you.
You should ask then if you must.
I should ask, and I'm
must do. Then so be it.
Did you see any monkeys?
I do beg your pardon. The lads were fine fellows. I wouldn't have called them monkeys. If there was any monkey business to be had, then monkeys would have done it. But there were no monkey business. This was professional, and the sergeant was a right monkey, because he was a man of business, and monkeying was his business, and now he's been eaten by lions. That's what you get in the service if you engage in the business of monkeys.
Well said, I think. Thank you very much for joining me. Thank you, Captain Thornridge.
My pleasure. Thank you.
I would say farewell, but is it really the end?
No, we've still got a bit left.
Alright, then let's go.